and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Zorza and I'm a retired Navy veteran. They say the only way you get better at something is with practice, such as a gunner's mate, shooting. Okay, if you're not a natural born shooter, to get an expert for like your rifle and your pistol and anything else like that, you practice muscle memory. Everything's muscle memory, okay? And not just with being a gunner's mate and small arms, but anything in life, it's muscle memory. So what my plan is to make kind of like a lifestyle vlog in between my other videos. And you know, it's okay if I don't get like a lot of viewers or anything. I'm mainly doing it for myself because I originally wanted to start a channel about 1.5 years ago, about June 2018, where I was like, you know what, I really want to do this. However, I was putting it off, and it was for, I made excuses, but it was for health reasons. And when I speak about health reasons, as I mentioned in yesterday's video, I had a lot of injuries in the Navy, but what really stops me more than anything is my depression. So I figured, what a great way to practice making videos. Woo, that sun is blinding. This is the evening sunset. Actually, surprisingly, for me, I think the worst, it was actually a sunrise. The most blinding sunrise I've ever seen in my life when I was out California. It was before my 2013 deployment, and flew into LA, and there's a base out there. Can't remember at the moment, total brain fart, but yeah, I would come down along the Pacific Coast Highway, and whoo, man, that sun was blinding, but beautiful. But I'm going to grab something to eat. I eat out way too much, and I know that. It's not really healthy, and it costs a lot. I have gotten better though. But I've been fiddling all day, working on some graphic projects. I haven't stated, but I graduated last month. I was going to school for graphic web design, and I already had a bachelor's degree in some other education, so it only took me 12 months to get this special associate's degree in graphic web design. But I graduated last month, a few weeks ago, and the VA paid for it. And this was after I already used my Chapter 30, 1606, and the Chapter 33. This one was actually called Chapter 31. It's the Voc Rehab GI Bill. It's for individuals, veterans that are disabled. So definitely, whatever happens in the military, and you will hear this a lot, document. You save everything, because all you need is 10% disability rating and you're eligible for Voc Rehab, which for me was another 12 months on top of what I already had. So, and actually, even if you were to say use your your post 9/11, use all that up, and you wanted to be a clinical psychologist, or you want to be a lawyer, okay, something that you're going to need basically a PhD or like a Juris Doctorate degree to be a lawyer, Voc Rehab will pay for all that. So you can go way beyond the 36 months that a normal GI Bill would pay for. So yeah, definitely document. But you might notice I get off the subject a lot. My mind is all over the place. And anyways, I had some individuals yesterday ask me, what do you do now that you're retired? I actually sent my resume and my unofficial transcript today to my counselor at at the VA for voc rehab, and she passes that off to whoever to help me find a job. So I'll be doing that with the graphics. I've done some side projects for individuals. I've had quite a few different businesses and just individuals I know, both from the military and civilian wise, that are interested in me, like designing either a website or like some t-shirt design, stuff of that nature. But I got some other projects that have been going on for a while. I'm the type of individual, at least the last few years, to where I start a project and then it's like squirrel, and I'm off doing another project. And I'll eventually come back to the original one, maybe like 6 months or more later. I have so many ideas in my head of things to do. Whew, man, oh man. But being that I do suffer still from depression, anxiety, I mean, it's nothing like it was before, because before, especially in the beginning, I was totally shut down, locked in my house, and I was suicidal. And I can talk about more of that later. That all stemmed from the military and certain things that I experienced and just lived through. The worst thing, and I'm speaking from experience, that anyone can do is keep it inside, bottle it up. Whatever it is, you got to get it out. And I actually had, he was a captain, he was a SEAL. He actually, when I was coming back from Afghanistan, I stopped off in Germany, and we were doing like a real quick, because it was Thanksgiving time frame, real quick turnaround for the Warrior Transition Program to acclimate yourself to go before going back to the U.S. I saw that I was really distraught and withdrawn, angry. I was very angry, and I'm sure he knew the signs of what it was. I did not. And for me, it was amazing at how many senior leadership, and here I am, a Navy chief, Master Chief, all the other khaki, the psychiatrists that were there at the base, nobody would come near me because of how angry I was. And I could tell by the look on their face, they were all scared. But this CO walked up to me and said, "Hey, do you want to talk?" And of course I was angry. I was like, "No." And he said, "Well, here's my business card. I'll be in my office until 2200. If you decide to, decide you want to talk to somebody." But I ended up going back to my room, and I had a roommate. So I just ended up going to sleep, which was actually something I had not done in months, especially being in Afghanistan with all the incoming, with the indirect fire and everything. So it was like, it was actually quiet, it was peaceful. Body actually just let my mind shut down, and I fell asleep. But we ended up waking up the next day, because unlike other individuals, they had a whole week there. Some had 2 weeks. We only had, I think it was like 36 hours, maybe it was 48, I forget. But because of the Thanksgiving holiday, our OIC wanted us to get back. So we did not have that decompression time. Otherwise, I know I would have ended up talking to that CO. But at that moment, I was just like, no, I wanted nothing to do with anybody. This morning, we left at I think it was like 0500. And everyone was already going out to the bus to get to the plane to head back to the States. And once again, nobody said good morning. Everyone looked at me. I could tell that they were still stay away. And here comes down the walkway this captain, and he's like, "May I carry your bags?" I was like, "Sure, whatever, dude." And that's what I was like, "Whatever, dude." At that point, I didn't care. But here was Navy SEAL. I have his business card somewhere, and I don't remember his name offhand. Very nice guy, very personable, genuine. I could tell he really cared. And he told me, he's like, "I'm gonna tell you one thing. Whatever it is, You need to get it out. You need to talk about it. Do not hold it in. And I heard him, but I wasn't listening. And then I came back to the States, and it wasn't until it was about 7-8 months later to where I realized I realized I do need help, because I started having a lot of bad thoughts, and at that point, and I had been battling different demons for quite a few years, but it's like when I was in Afghanistan, everything just came to a head, and my world came crashing down about 7-8 months after I got back. And I was already going to the VA, but I was seeing a psychiatrist at the time, and he was not helping me. So I saw a couple of different doctors, and then finally it was another veteran who saw the signs in me that she knew what they were, because she had experienced PTSD, and she directed me to who I needed to see. So overall, it was about a year after I started going to the VA. I think I had seen like 4 doctors, maybe 5. None of them were working for me. And yeah, so I ended up finding my doctor now, Dr. Stein, Miami VA, amazing psychologist, amazing. And yeah, she helped me work through so much. I still go to the VA every week. I've been going now for October, it was 4 years. So it's been what, 4 years, 3 months, something like that now. I still see her every week. It won't be for much longer, but they have you see the doctor for a certain amount of time, depending on your diagnosis and stuff and what it's for. But, you know, my advice there is just, yeah, do not keep anything in, especially since suicide and depression, all that, I don't care what anyone says, it is a stigma. It's a stigma in society. It's definitely still a stigma in the military. And like I said, I'm speaking from experience, because I have many other stories if you guys want to hear about them, about what I dealt with, both active and reserves, with depression, and you know, and to me, it's amazing now, because now I know what caused my PTSD, and I just understand so much, because I said I went through all those doctors, but I finally found the doctor that worked for me. Okay, so you know, it's just like, and I mean, it's something totally different, off topic. My mind does this, it jumps around, but no different than if your first enlistment, you're in the military and you have a terrible command, which I did. And you know, I hear all these chiefs now talking about, you know, you never base it on your first command. Well, you know, I didn't have a mentor, anyone to tell me that. They were just like, you're gonna get out? Yes. Okay, bye. Nobody cared. So if you have a bad command, try it one more time. That's my advice there, because I have had quite a few individuals ask me that. You know, my command sucks. I want to get out. Don't base it off one command. Don't make that mistake I did. Doesn't matter, active or reserve. I highly recommend you try again. And if you have to, depending on the situation, even try a third time. So, but yeah, it's, I'm rambling on, and I know that, but I want to make more, I'm going to do the same content that I've been doing, very informative. I found a bunch of videos and photos from my career. Digital didn't exist for most of my career, like so many of you. So I was not able to document a lot of it, but what I do have, I'll be putting together over time to share different places I've been, or, you know, I have some pictures from boot camp, which I don't remember why I was allowed. It's like on our 6th or 7th week, I was allowed my camera that my parents sent me. I don't remember why, but I have some pictures of what boot camp looked like in Orlando. I have different things like that, so I'll share little things here and there, but this is also for myself, documenting my journey. Part of me wishes I would have, I journaled a lot, but I wish I would have done a lot of video over the last few years, because of not only mental health, but physical health. My physical health has been affected, and it would have been nice to see different changes, positive changes, of course, but I've had a lot of negative changes with like weight gain and just a lot of different things over the last few years, dealing with all this, the mental health side of it. So yeah, so you'll probably see more of these vlogs. A lot of it, like I said, is just for me, journaling. If I can help anyone else out there that's dealing with PTSD, depression, anxiety, regardless if it's military related or not, and just be babbling on about certain sea stories. Yeah, I'm just gonna try different things, find out what style is for me. Like I said earlier, the best way to hone any craft is to practice. So I will be practicing lots of extra videos. And then, like I said, for myself, I think it'd be nice for my own journey and all to just have some of these video vlogs. I wish I would have had that earlier, something to look back on, because I've seen some photos recently and I'm like, oh my God. But